Well, hi. Today is Thursday, November 20th, 2025. I'm Todd Studer, and this is Morning Coffee. We are just one day away from Winterfest, as things will be getting underway at 5 p.m., coming up tomorrow night in Bayless Park. And because at 5 o'clock, that's when the food trucks will start serving, and you're going to be wanting to get into the park early anyway, because the lighting ceremony will be held promptly at 6. Tons of activities going on through the park. There'll be a maker's market, and I understand that Santa's going to be there. The Grinch will be there doing bike rides, just all kinds of stuff. They'll be showing holiday movies. And don't forget that there is a warming station just across the street in the southwest corner of Bayless Park. You walk across to the Masonic Lodge, and they're giving away hot chocolate, cider, hot cider, and also cookies. And the chanters from the Shriners are coming over from Omaha to sing Christmas carols. It's going to be a wonderful evening to be in the park. And when you get too cold, you head over to the Masonic Lodge to warm up and get some hot chocolate. And I'm going to be out front of the lodge. You'll see me. I'll have my booth will be out there, and we'll be doing a live webcast. Hopefully we'll be able to catch the lighting ceremony live there on Facebook. We also have a new sponsor to tell you about here on Morning Coffee. It is all-around great guy, fellow Hawkeye fan, and a pretty good financial guy. His name is Steve Erlob, and he is with Edward Jones. He's a financial advisor right here in Council Bluffs. Learn how Steve can help you reach your financial goals. Visit edwardjones.com for more. Edward Jones, member SIPC. So thank you, Steve, for your support. Coming up today, I thought we'd do a little Q&A. I'm going to be asking the questions, even though these are questions that I have been asked before. So I compiled them, made out a list, and when people find out that I have been doing podcasting for a while, I get asked a lot of questions. And I thought, we should probably do a show about that, answer some of those questions for you. You know, if you've ever thought about doing a podcast, thought about how can I make money with it, what should it be about, we're going to answer all of those questions for you here on this episode of Morning Coffee. One person that has a podcast that could answer some of those questions too is Travis Waldstein. He and his son Hayden owned Waldstein Plumbing in Council Bluffs, and they have you covered with fast, reliable service and expert craftsmanship. Everything from small repairs to major installation. They're locally owned and trusted and take pride in doing the job right the first time. Residential or commercial, big or small, when plumbing problems strike, call Waldstein Plumbing. Visit them online at waldsteinplumbing.com. If you need precision metal fabrication done right, look no further than Foxco Fabrication in Council Bluffs. That is Rick Graybill, and he does custom welding to large-scale manufacturing, bringing your ideas to life with expert craftsmanship and cutting-edge technology. So whether it's industrial, commercial, or custom fabrication, they get the job done on time and built to last. Check out some of the projects they've already completed online at foxcofab.com, and maybe you'll get an idea for a project that you would like to have done too. And if you're feeling stuck in uncertainty, conflict, or miscommunication, The Spiral of Accountability by Carol Horner is a book that is your guide to breaking free from the fog that clouds decision-making and relationships. This is a really important time of year for this book because, you know, when families get together, oftentimes personalities and opinions can clash. Wouldn't you like to know how to calm everything down and to be able to have a true conversation with some family members again? Well, this book can help you do that. TheSpiralOfAccountability.com is the website. It is available there. And Carol's book is also available on Amazon, so you can get them in both locations. Okay, so I get asked a lot about podcasting, and I mean a lot. And, you know, between Local Roots, Morning Coffee, Circle of Trades, another podcast that I produce, Wine, Wisdom, and Wit, which, by the way, Net and Eddie are just killing it with that podcast. If you haven't listened to it yet, it's an audio-only podcast. You can find it on Spotify. That's the easiest way to go. Look up Wine, Wisdom, and Wit. Two local women from Council Bluffs that are doing a wonderful job with the podcast that would encourage you to listen. You know, all the shows we produce for businesses all over Southwest Iowa, podcasting is one of the most important communication tools, and it's also one of the fastest growing. So today we're going to take a look at the top 10 questions people have been asking me about podcasting. No, it's not an official kind of scroll thing with, did I measure everything out, and number 10, number 9, and I just guessed. Yeah, so we're going to start with number 10, work our way down to number 1. Number 10, how much does it cost to start a podcast? I get asked this all the time. And, it's really not as much as you would think. You don't need a multi-million-dollar studio. You can start small and grow as your audience grows. I have told the story many times that you would be surprised how many audiobooks have been recorded in someone's walk-in closet. That is something that is a very common thing. It doesn't cost that much to get going. And really, you can spend as much money as you want to spend on it, but there's a lot of free services. Some things you need to pay for, but there's a lot of things that you can get for free to get you going. And one way to learn about some of this stuff is by going to my website, leshillsmedia.com. And at the bottom of the main page, you're going to see a button there that says Free Podcast Planner. Click on that. That will help keep everything going and keep you on track. Number 9, what equipment do I need? Well, you do need some. Yeah, you're going to need a pretty good microphone. This one is... I like this because it fits my voice, and that's the way I use it. I also have one of these over here. This is a Shure microphone. It's a MV7X. The X stands for XLR. That's the type of cable that it uses because I have an interface that it plugs into. So that is some of the microphones that I have here. Headphones. Headphones are handy for a number of reasons. I know that I talk about Joe Rogan a lot because he's kind of the industry standard. And the reason that you see him wearing them all the time is because when he has a lot of guests, he has found that keeps people from talking over each other. And I think you would find the same thing. If you have guests that are not in the studio with you, this is how you can hear them. And it makes it a little easier so the sound doesn't feed back into your microphone. So headphones, I like them. Some people don't use them, but I do prefer them. And you also want to have clean audio. So how do you do that? There's a lot of AI options now that can do noise reduction. Isotope is a great program that does that. Some of the different softwares that you can use, I use a video editor called DaVinci Resolve that has a vocal isolation feature that does a great job of taking out background noise. Tons of options, and you can really clean up audio quite a bit, and it's important to be able to do that. And, we can help you with that at Les Hills Media. One of the main services we offer is podcast production, so we can take that all that hard stuff off of you. Number 8 is, do I need a professional studio? So the short answer is no, you don't. Does it help? Yes, it does help. If you need one, I've got one. You can start booking time right now in the studios on Willow right here in Council Bluffs, so you don't have to build your own studio. I'm going to have one for you, and you can come in and just spend a little bit of money leasing time in there, an hour, just an hour, 1 hour a month, and you can get a couple episodes done probably inside of that hour. So it's not going to be that expensive for you that way. And if you want some tips on how to build your own, again, you can spend as much money as you want to spend, but it really doesn't take as much as you think in order to get an operational studio. Number 7, how long should an episode be? I hear this one a lot. All right, so you're not going to like the answer, but I'm going to tell you anyway. A podcast should be exactly as long as it needs to be, because you do not want to end one too soon. That if you got a great conversation going, why would you want to stop it? And you also don't want to stretch one too far. If the conversation has just wrapped up and you've gone as far as it can go, why would you continue for another 5 or 7 minutes just trying to fill time? It doesn't matter how long it is. Just take that out of your head. That is old school, traditional media thinking that we have a limited amount of time because we have to get on to the next thing. No. Now, I will tell you that, the 20 to 30 minute range is pretty good. Sometimes they can go a little bit longer. Many people listen to podcasts as they're on their way into work. So take a look at the average commute in whatever area that you live in. Here in the Council Bluffs and Omaha area, around 30 minutes. So if you can keep your podcast at about that length, then people are going to be able to listen to it in its entirety on their way into work. That's a good rule of thumb. So you want it long enough to tell the story, but you want it short enough to keep attention. Just don't waste people's time with it is the idea. Number 6, how often should I release episodes? All right, this has a little more finite answer to this. If you're looking for the ideal amount, weekly. Yeah, releasing one episode per week is ideal. You could go twice a month. That is something that a lot of my clients do. Monthly can be okay too, but bigger than any of that is consistency. You want to make sure that you're doing it consistently, because that's going to help not only people be able to find you, it also helps with the algorithm, which is going to push your project out even further. Number 5, how do I get listeners? Well, you get listeners the same way you get anything with a business. You promote it. If you have a business, you promote your podcast the same way that you do your business. You talk about it out in the community. If you're a member of the Chamber of Commerce and you go to networking events, talk about it there. Get people to get excited about what it is that you're doing. Of course, social media, and not just one. You need to be on a lot of different social media platforms. Word of mouth is very big too. Talk about it. That's the main thing. You need to be talking about it so other people will talk about it. But as I've said before, views are secondary. They're important. The number of views is important, but it's not as important as getting your message out there. Because once a podcast exists, it exists. And just because you didn't get a download today doesn't mean that somewhere down the road it may not come in, because that's how this works. It is a slow build, and then it starts to rise very, very quickly. One of my favorite podcasters, and he's a business coach, and he does a lot of video promotions. His name is Dan Martell, and it took him 8 years to get to 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. And 100,000 is huge, but it took him 8 years to get there. It took him less than a year to go from 100,000 to over 1 million, because that's how it works. It's a very, very slow build, and then it's going to start to take off. You just have to stick with it, and that's what's going to get it done. Number 4, how do I make money from a podcast? Well, if you're incredibly popular, like Rogan or some of the other ones, then the sponsorships are going to come to you. They're going to find you, and they're going to want to be on there. Now, if you are looking for a way to monetize early, then you need to have a podcast that local people want to listen to. You need to be able to reach people so advertisers want to put their product on there, much the way you can see right down through here, the scroll that's going across your screen with different sponsors that we have on Morning Coffee, and I'm thankful for every single one of them. But they come on here because they know I'm producing a product that is reaching people that live in our area, and they want to be able to talk to people in our area. So that's one way to do it. You can also, I've never done it this way, but it is something that can be done, is memberships. You can put your podcast behind a paywall. Now, that to me is a harder sell, but I do know that some people have done that. It depends on what it is that you're offering. How strong is the information? I mean, if you're doing, say, a series of informational videos or audio, and there's value there, then maybe that is one way to do it. If you're doing instructional episodes about a topic that you know a lot about and you think that people would want to be able to learn more from you, then yeah, memberships might be a way to go. But the local businesses, it's all about credibility. It's about authority. Authority is the real currency of podcasting. You need to be talking about something that you know. I know podcasting. That's why I'm talking about it. Number 3, how do I pick a topic? Well, if you don't have a topic, you don't have a podcast. So that needs to be job one. It's in here at number 3, but it really needs to be job one. And, what do you want your podcast to be about? Start with what you know. What do you love? What do you really care about? And how authentic can you be about it? And if you care about it, then your audience is going to care about it. That needs to come through as you are doing these episodes. Number 2, how much time does it take? Well, it depends. I mean, if you're doing everything on your own, it's going to take probably more time than you think, because there's a reason why 90% of the podcasts that have ever been started didn't make it past episode 3. There's a reason for that, because once they got started, they realized how much time it was going to take. So if you're serious about having a podcast and you don't have the time to get everything done, right here, reach out. Go to my website, lashillsmedia.com, and we can put together a plan that works for you. And as I said, we can take care of the editing. We'll help you with the recording. We're going to do the distribution, all of it. We can even get you in touch and help with the promotion of it as well. That's why so many people come here, because then you're just left with focusing on the show. All you have to do is focus on your content. Once you're done recording, you walk out of the studio. We've got it after that, and we're going to take care of all the heavy lifting. And the number one podcasting question is, what makes a podcast successful? It's not the greatest gear, the best microphone, the best lights, the best soundproof room. None of that is a guarantee that you're going to have a successful podcast. You could throw thousands, tens of thousands of dollars into it. That's not going to be any kind of guarantee that it's going to be a successful podcast. What will make it successful is storytelling. It's about how well can you make a connection with people, and really, how well can you make a connection with people that you can't see? Because I'm looking into a camera right now. I can't see you. But how well can I make a connection? I've gotten pretty good at it. And also consistency. We put out daily shows here. I have this show, Morning Coffee, and I also have the show Local Roots. So I'm personally producing 10 shows a week just for myself. But I'm doing it for the area. I'm doing it for Council Bluffs with Morning Coffee, and I'm doing it for the more rural communities with Local Roots. Things that affect the more rural communities is where our focus is going to be with the Local Roots show. Things that affect directly Council Bluffs is the focus for Morning Coffee. That's why I do it, and I can tell you that the audience has shown up. They are here. You are watching me right now. You are one of that audience. That list has been growing. I have seen it take huge jumps over the last few months because I can track all of those numbers. It's much, much different than the type of media that I used to do that was based strictly off of Nielsen ratings, which, I don't have a lot of faith in those. But this, I can see who's listening, where they're at, how long they're listening. It's all, you can trace all of it. So it's a much easier metric to keep track of. So moral of the story is, if you got any questions, step one, go to my website, lashillsmedia.com, click on that free podcast planner, download it. It's 100% free. My friend Sue Pitts helped put this together, so you're going to see Sue's branding on there too. She can help you with the marketing end of it. But this is... and then at that point, let's have a conversation. Let's talk about it. Let's see what your ideas are. And we'll see whether or not you would like to move forward with us or you want to take care of it yourself. I'll give you the information. If you ask me questions, I'll answer them. That's how things work. So there you go. The top 10 questions that I get asked about podcasting. Service Master Restored by Schmader knows it's hard to get back to normal if you've suffered serious property damage due to flooding, fire, or smoke. And something else to consider is that Service Master Restored by Schmader also handles mold remediation. So a lot of these things, if you get water involved with it too, now you've got mold. And there's a lot of different kinds of mold. And Cindy Schmader is incredibly knowledgeable when it comes to all of this. She can tell you, is this something that's dangerous? Is this something that is we need to get out of the house? She can find mold that's outside of the house. I watched her give a presentation on that, and I was fascinated by it. So, again, you're going to want to get a hold of Cindy Schmader with Service Master Restore by Schmader. Get this number in your phone, 402-339-9911. Well, since 1870, Avila Bank has been providing Iowans with high-quality financial products and services to fit their needs. Do you need a loan, starting a new business account, saving money for a trip, or looking to open a personal checking account? Avila's qualified bankers can help you with all of that and a lot more. Visit avila.bank to learn more. Bloomworks on the historic 100 block in Council Bluffs is bringing your moments to life with unique, fresh floral arrangements. Elisa Roth is the best in the business, from creative wedding designs to beautiful sympathy florals. And she also can put together amazing prom accessories. We're going to be in prom season before you know it. Their team delivers artistry in every stem. Now, right now, explore their stunning fall flower collection filled with rich seasonal colors and fresh autumn style. Bloomworks offers delivery throughout the Council Bluffs and Omaha metro area. Give them a call, schedule a consult. They are ready to design the perfect arrangement for your wedding, for your celebration, or for your moment of comfort. Their website, ebloomworks.com. Thank you so much for being a part of things today. And don't forget, we've got Winterfest coming up tomorrow night at Bayless Park. We are looking forward to seeing you there. My name's Todd Studer. Have a great Thursday.